Have you been watching the Democratic convention? It reminds me of the story of the lady who went into a bridal shop to get a gown for her fourth wedding. And the clerk asked her, said, well, what type of gown were you looking for? And she said, well, I want a white gown with a bit revealing, with a flowing train and a veil. And the lady at the bridal shop said, well, now, wait a minute. Usually we see this kind of a gown on more innocent brides. And the lady said, I'm as innocent as any of them. She said, well, how so? He said, well, my first husband, after the wedding, and as we were checking into our hotel, was so excited, and the excitement caused him to have a cardiac, and he died. And I said, well, I'm so sorry. What about your second wedding? He said, well, my husband and I got into a horrible argument on the way to the reception, and we ended up having the wedding marriage annulled. I see. Well, what about your third wedding? Well, my husband was a Democrat, and all he did was sit on the bed for 4 years and tell me how good it was going to be. And that's kind of what we're seeing in the Democratic convention, isn't it? They're not telling us anything about anything other than they hate Donald Trump. And this is going to be so good with Kamala and Tim in the White House. Don't fall for this. Think policy. Think what's going to happen and what's going to affect your family. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.